Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an orientation Q&A, answering your questions that you asked on our Instagram. But first, we're going to introduce ourselves, even though we do this like every video. I'm Danny Maloney. I'm from Fairfield, Connecticut, rising senior, and I was previously in OA in Lemon first floor and Pleasant's first floor, and this year I am in OA for Barrett second east.
My name is Grace Lorch. I'm from New York City, and I'm a rising senior just like Danny. And although I won't be in OA this year, I'll be floating around orientation, but I don't have a specific hall. In years past, I was in OA for DuPont 3 West and for Fauquier 2nd Lower.
Hey guys, I'm Emily Nabel. I'm also a senior, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm on the work staff this year in Hunt Hall.
Fire. All right, our first question that we got from you guys is, what should you pack for orientation? You want to go? Or do you want to go last?
Well, it's going to be a pretty lengthy list, right? Because you want to make sure you have everything for just necessary dorm living, as well as things that can like keep you entertained when you have free time. The reason why Danny looked at me is because I plan on posting something on the Instagram. So if you don't follow us at WM_step, and hopefully we'll have a post up there with a packing list in the next couple days.
I would say the most helpful things I've found throughout the years: water bottles. You need to stay hydrated.
True.
You're going to be walking around in the heat, so water bottle, sunscreen. I don't even really know. Just a good attitude. I know that's not like something that you can pack necessarily, but as long as you have that, then you'll be fine.
And even though it's really early in the semester, I recommend bringing like one sort of layer for cold weather, whether it's like a puffy jacket or maybe a zip-up hoodie, just because with Williamsburg weather, you can't always predict it, and we're going to get at least 1 week of cold when we should. So I want to make sure that you guys are ready.
Yeah, and a rain jacket or umbrella.
Yes, absolutely an umbrella. It rains here all the time.
Yeah.
I would say for orientation specifically, like, bring your snacks with you. If you need to have a little bag, bring a little bag with snacks. Like, honestly, I wish I had brought deodorant last year because I was sweaty from walking around. Like, water bottles a must, sunscreen, honestly sunglasses if you need them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like stuff so that you're comfortable throughout the day, because you're going to be sitting through a presentation and then walking to your next location, so you might be a little stinky.
Did you guys say snacks already?
She just said
Okay, yeah, sorry. I thought I might have heard it.
Also, caffeine, if you're into caffeine. That always just helps a little bit.
Agreed.
Yeah. Our next question that we actually got like two of the same questions. So we have, will there be anything to help us move into our dorms on move-in? And also, will there be anyone who can help us move our stuff in on move-in? So there are carts to help you like move your stuff in. If you're in a dorm with an elevator, you can utilize the elevator to get all your stuff up the floors. If you're not, unfortunately,
Great leg workout.
I never had an elevator, so walking up the 5 flights of stairs in GGV was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then for anyone, unless you're on like a sports team, it's really just the people that you bring with you, like your supporters. The OAs are not allowed to help you, just liability reasons. We don't want to break your stuff. We don't want to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you to get hurt. It's just we'll be there to cheer you on, though.
Mm-hmm. And just for context, we do have a limited number of these carts that Danny mentioned, but they're these big kind of green, I want to say luggage carts that you might picture a hotel having if they have to bring a lot of bags around. Not the ones that like have little cute hangers and stuff, just like kind of like a big tub. But if you want something smaller, a lot of students will bring a portable dolly that you can get on Amazon that can fold up really easy for around $20 to $50. So that's definitely something we recommend bringing as well.
It's also easier if all your stuff is in big bags instead of having little things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would invest in some IKEA bags or like knockoff ones from Amazon, something like that.
Yeah.
That's going to make it less trips to get up and down with all your stuff.
In the same vein, make sure to consolidate things as much as possible. A lot of you will be coming in with brand new items. Try not to keep them in the boxes, because usually there's a lot of empty space in those boxes when you can transfer multiple items into one sort of luggage or bag, like Emily was saying. So save yourself the trips.
Our next question that we got from you guys is, what time should we expect to be starting orientation on move-in night? So orientation doesn't technically start the day you move in. There's a dinner that your OAs will talk about. By the way, you're going to get an OA email probably very soon introducing who your OAs are. Every hall has some. They'll do a dinner. It's not required usually. but we encourage that you go just to meet the people in your hall and eat with them for the first night. And then there should be like a late night event that is also not required. It's most likely going to be a movie on Sunken Gardens, and we say that you should do your last goodbyes the day after.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Like Danny said, if you want to spend time with your family that Thursday when you move in, we welcome you to, especially after like a long day of maybe driving or traveling the day before, or for some people like the 2 days before. So please make sure you take that time to get settled in, because once orientation starts the next day, which will be Friday, August 22nd, it's going to really start. And we're really excited for all the events that we have for you, but that means we want to make sure we have your undivided attention.
Okay, so the next question we got is, will there be a schedule to follow regarding events, and are certain events required? You'll hear more about this once you get onto campus. Your OAs will give you the schedule almost daily, probably daily, and they'll tell you what events are required. Certain events are required. I don't know them off the top of my head. You'll find out very, very soon. And if you don't go to them, you won't be able to register for classes, and that won't be very fun. So make sure you're going to the events your OAs are telling you about.
And for sometimes, last year at least, for the required events, you could pull up your TribeLink pass and they'd scan you in so that they know you attended them.
So even though we have a large number of people coming in as people who are spending their first year at William & Mary and going through the orientation process, we do still care about your individual experience, hence why we take attendance at a lot of our required events. So please do your best to make it to those required events, especially since not only are they a requirement to register for those last couple classes, I think they also factor into graduation. And we don't want to figure out what happens when you don't have that requirement when it's time to graduate. But other things to note is that even though other events might not be mandatory, they could be super informational or just a great opportunity for you to explore campus and meet people you wouldn't otherwise know. A lot of my friends that I have going into my senior year are people I met during orientation through these optional events, where I really have no other reason why I should know them. Like, I'll look at them when I'm hanging out with them and saying, I'm so lucky I met you during orientation, or else I just wouldn't know how awesome you are. So don't miss out on those opportunities to make friends. But that being said, if you need to rest during those times that are completely optional, please do so. Do whatever is best for you.
If you also have something that is like super important, like an emergency, or you're on a sports team, there are makeup sessions available. That's just for those extreme circumstances. Don't bake on getting one of those right off the bat.
It's also orientation. Like, this is all your commitments are during that time period, so if there are optional events, might as well check them out.
Okay, our next question was, how long does orientation typically last? Very basic level, technically like the first day of orientation is Friday, and the last technical day of orientation is Tuesday, with your first day of classes being on Wednesday, ending with convocation at night. Convocation is just a tradition at 7:15. You get to walk through the Wren building, and you'll see what happens after that. I don't want to spoil a surprise. It's not really a surprise, but...
And within those 5 days of orientation, the length of programming is going to vary. So in the beginning, I want to say from Friday through Sunday, you're going to have the bulk of the programming. Friday is absolutely going to be your heaviest day in terms of mandatory programming, just because we want to take advantage of that day as much as we can. I don't want to give you incorrect information, but I would expect to be with your orientation group both morning, afternoon, and evening, especially in the evening, because we'll have our first evening event, which is late night at the rec, which is not mandatory, but there will be free t-shirts. So get your free t-shirts, free food, and it's a great chance for you to hear all about what the campus rec department offers. There are at least 7 branches, I think, of programming within the rec. I work there, so like I kind of have the spiel memorized, my bad guys. But there will be evening events Friday, honestly, I want to say through Tuesday, that you should check out. That being said, every night.
Single night.
After Sunday, the mandatory events start to peter out, not because there isn't important things to do, but it's more of an individualized experience from that point on. On Monday, a lot of students will be meeting with their peer advisors that they should have been in contact with. In that first part of orientation, your OAs will walk you through this. We promise you're not alone in this process. And then Tuesday in the morning is when course registration is going to happen. And once you have that final schedule locked in, a lot of students will walk around campus to see where all their classes are. So it's much more about you as an individual student rather than embracing you in our entire community values, which is what the first 3 days are focused on.
Okay, the next question we got was, how do you get to know people during orientation? I feel like this varies. There's many different ways you can get to know people. Grace mentioned earlier that she met them through the non-required events. The best way I feel like I met people in my dorm was just leaving my door open. I had heard from like TikTok and other things that like that is probably the best way to meet people, and it is, right? When everyone's moving in, you're just like kind of awkwardly watching them do that, and then as soon as their parents leave, you go up and introduce yourself. Same thing with like meals, making sure you're eating with different people. Don't like pigeonhole yourself right away. Just be like open to everything. Just say yes, and that's how you'll get to know a lot of people.
Yeah, I'd also say mealtime was a great time to get to know different people, especially if you are walking around with your dorm mates. You get to know them pretty quickly and pretty well. So it's always a good idea to kind of venture out and see if you can meet different groups of people when you're getting meals.
Another great opportunity is going to be during hall mixers, which your orientation aides should plan, where your OAs are going to arrange a time to meet up with another hall from another set of OAs. And it could be someone in your building, somebody in your area in terms of your dorms, or it could just be someone all the way across campus. These mixers really have no rhyme or reason to them. And during these mixers, you'll play icebreakers, you'll have a chance to converse with each other, and that's another great time to meet people you really otherwise wouldn't run into. So honestly, just be open to introducing yourself to as many people as possible, and I promise you the people you encounter are probably just as nervous as you are when it comes to making new friends. So if you can be a person where they can feel a little bit more at ease, that's a great way to start building those connections.
Yeah, another event as well. Two of the nights of orientation are the club fair, and so if you want to meet someone with like a similar interest, going up to a bunch of clubs and organizations will be tabling, so you can meet people through there. If it's the upperclassmen that are tabling or the other students that are signing up, that could also be a great way to meet people with similar interests as you. All right, our next question that we got was, what's your favorite late night event? So we're just going to run through how they were last year, not necessarily how they are this year because we don't know the exact date right now. But so we usually last year, Thursday was like a movie, then we had Friday was late night at the Rec, Saturday Colonial Williamsburg welcome, Sunday Cheers to Your First Year paired with the block party, and then Monday and Tuesday are usually the org fair nights. We're not saying that's how it's going to go this year, but we're a roughly similar schedule. So my favorite event is always Cheers to Your First Year. I thought it was the cringiest thing when I was a freshman, watching all of the OAs just do what they do, because I won't spoil anything. But it is so fun to do as an OA. Once you put on the yellow shirt, you kind of just lose all, I don't know, what's the word?
Self-respect.
No. You just don't care about what people think about you.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the same boat, and I do enjoy that, so.
And then I would say one of my favorite events is the Colonial Williamsburg Welcome. We recently brought it back last year, and it's when essentially all of the incoming class and their OAs goes to Colonial Williamsburg to partake in certain activities and just general vibes that were set up by the STEP department. I don't want to spoil too much of that either, but it's a lot of spending time outside in Colonial Williamsburg, which is so beautiful when it's pretty like empty. It's not filled with a ton of tourists. We kind of get to charge Colonial Williamsburg as one group, and you will get to take advantage of so many of the nice little activities that they have in the area. So that's one of my favorite events.
I really enjoyed late night at the Rec last year when I was going through orientation. The Rec has been, our campus recreation has been a really integral part of my experience at William & Mary, and it was a great way for me to learn a little bit more about what they have to offer, as well as there was food, and there was a rave, a DJ, and bouncy houses. It was a great time.
And I'm going to be there because I have to help plan it, and I'm part of the Rec staff. So if you guys want to see me, go to that event too.
And none of the late night events are required, but we really highly encourage that you do go because they are just a great way to meet people that you don't know.
Yeah.
They're a great way to get involved in the campus community. There's so much free stuff that you will love to have, free swag, free everything, and most likely food and music. So it's a really good time. Mm-hmm. All right, we got a special guest for this last question, Amaya. The last question we got was, what's your number one tip for making the best of orientation? If I had to say something, I would say what I said earlier. Just say yes to everything. Be open to doing a lot of things. Orientation can be somewhat overwhelming at points. There's just a lot that goes on. You're in a new place for the first time. You're living with people you don't know. Mm-hmm. But just be open because you're never going to have an experience like that again. And this is kind of setting you up for success on your college trajectory.
I'll go next. My number one tip is to definitely take care of yourself. Bring snacks if you need to, water. Bring your water bottles if you have a reusable one, and also wear comfortable shoes. You're going to be walking a lot around campus to different places. You're going to be in different events, different workshops on campus for a long amount of time, so you don't really have control over when you can just run out and get water or run out and get a snack until you have those breaks in the programming. So just make sure you're thinking about what shoes am I putting on and just different things like that.
I think I'm just going to reiterate points that we had mentioned in the other questions. Try to see every experience, no matter how mundane, as a chance to connect with people. Even if you're walking next to someone who isn't in your hall and you're both complaining about how hot it is, that can turn into, oh my goodness, how much walking have you done today? What dorm were you in? And there's so many other ways you can snowball that conversation. So take every opportunity you can to have a conversation with someone, even when you can't possibly imagine what you can get out of it. I promise you it'll do wonders, and more so than you can possibly think.
I would say lean into it. You're going to be learning a lot about the culture here at William & Mary, whether it's directly through a presentation or just through the way the OAs interact with you or just your peers interact with you in general. You're learning a lot about the school's culture and how we treat one another. You're learning about the traditions and how we go about like research and academics and social atmosphere, stuff like that. Lean into those traditions, lean into that attitude, because we are a place for everyone. Everyone who comes here belongs here, all that. Lean into that mindset, because you will find your place, you'll find your people very quickly if you're able to just kind of accept what's around you and realize like you have a welcoming community.
Yeah, and don't be nervous. Everyone is in like the same boat. Your OAs are so excited for you to come onto campus. They've kind of been waiting for you all year. This is like our Super Bowl, so just get really excited. We're really excited to see you. And the next time we will be seeing you on this YouTube channel will be orientation, so that's really exciting for us.
Yay!
So we'll see you at OA training.
Yeah.
Crazy. Peace out.